Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Fastlane preview and predictions video. Now, I am really excited for this show because I think the card looks great. I think Sami Zayn against Samoa Joe looks awesome. Bayley against Charlotte, you know they're going to put on a really good match. Kevin Owens Goldberg, I think, is quite intriguing as well. Even the kickoff show, and let's start with the kickoff show. So on there, it looks like there'll be one match. That match is a tag match. It's a Cruiserweight match, and it looks like we're going to get Akira Tozawa, who is awesome. Rich Swann, who is a favourite of mine, going up against the Brian Kendrick. And also Noam Dar, who should have Alicia Fox in his corner. Now, I don't tend to watch that much of 205 Live. I don't think that the show has been that good up to this point. It's getting better. It is getting better. But I am going to go with Akira Tozawa and Rich Swann, just because I think Tozawa is a real special talent. I really think, I would love Akira Tozawa against Neville sometime soon for that championship. Maybe not WrestleMania. Big rumours that it's going to be a ladder match for the Cruiserweights at WrestleMania, which I would be totally on board with. I think that would be awesome. Some of the spots, the high spots that they could do in that match, I'd be fully on board with that. Pre-show match, good. I will watch it. I'm intrigued by it, and I think that the baby faces will win. We might as well jump over to the Cruiserweight Championship match, and that is going to be an all-British affair. Yes! So we've got Neville, the champion, going up against Gentleman Jack Gallagher, and this is a no contest for me. This is going to be Neville, and it should be Neville. I think Neville has revolutionised that Cruiserweight division. I know the Cruiserweight division's not that old, but he's still revolutionised it, and I think that he really is the big main heel champion. He needs to stay that way. You can't have the title going back and forth. You've got to keep it on Neville. And as I say, for me, let's build towards Neville versus Akira Tozawa, because that will be absolutely fascinating. Neville against Austin Aries as well. There's options, but I don't think those options are as exciting if Jack Gallagher is the champion at this point. Next, we've got Sasha Banks against Nia Jax, and personally, I think they're going to repay Sasha Banks because she lost the match at the Royal Rumble, and she lost it in a bit of a squash. So I think this time it's going to be Sasha finding a way and getting that victory back, and then that'll build towards the fatal four-way that is being heavily rumoured for WrestleMania. We're looking at Bayley versus Charlotte versus Sasha versus Nia Jax. But that brings us to who the champion is going to be going into WrestleMania. So we've got Bayley, the champion, amazingly, against Charlotte, the millionth former champion. Honestly, she has that belt literally every other week. But I personally think that Charlotte's going to win this. Charlotte is undefeated in singles competition on pay-per-views, so I don't see any reason to stop that at Fastlane. So Charlotte will win, but she could win by count-out. She could win by disqualification, and I don't see any reason as to why she needs to have that title back. Next, we've got what I think will be a fantastic match, and that is Sami Zayn against Samoa Joe. So they have done this match before down in NXT, and Samoa Joe came out the victor. I don't see anything to suggest that this is going to be any different. I think they'll have a fantastic match. They could steal the show, and I think that Samoa Joe is going to go on, dominate, pick up the victory, and move forward to WrestleMania, where maybe he faces a returning demon. Gallows and Anderson versus Enzo and Big Cass. Now, they've been teasing that Enzo might turn heel, or even that Big Cass could turn on Enzo, because Enzo's becoming very yappy, very annoying. You know, he's kind of picking up a lot of defeats, and Big Cass is kind of having to bail him out of situations, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they do eventually pull Big Cass away from that team, but surely there's still money to be made with Enzo and Big Cass. Surely the merchandise is still selling, you know. I mean, we've not even had the Elite figures out yet. You know, I'd be expecting pop vinyls. I'd be expecting loads more stuff to come out yet for these guys. So I think they've still easily, they could run till the, you know, rest of this year. So I don't think they will split. But equally, I don't think they'll get the titles at this stage. And I think that's right. I think Gallows and Anderson should have a bit of a run with them. So, yeah, we'll have to see. Not sure what happens in regards to Big Cass and his, like, singles run. But if you want to talk about someone that should have a singles run, you probably should be looking at Big E. Because Big E has been in the New Day forever. And, yeah, he's ready, man. You know, they could... Big E, you know, if they had, say, Kevin Owens retain and he goes through WrestleMania and gets past Jericho and he's still the champion, I think a program with Big E could be pretty tasty. Next up, we've got Roman Reigns against Braun Strowman, and Vince seems to go, la 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 la. If ever anyone tries to tell him otherwise, you know, Roman Reigns as a face is not working. La 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 la. So I think Roman Reigns is going to pick up the victory here. I think that they'll find a way of making Braun look strong still. You know, I'm sure that Braun can kind of beat up Roman after. You know, and I think like Roman could then come out on Monday Night Raw and say how he beat the biggest monster in WWE, which could herald the gongs. That's not what I want to see Undertaker do at WrestleMania. And when I saw the leaked WrestleMania card the other week, the rumour on there was that it could be Undertaker, AJ Styles, and that excites me a hell of a lot more. And that brings me to the main event, Kevin Owens against Goldberg, and everything in my body, my brain, everything is telling me that Goldberg wins. But I don't want to see that. I am not a Goldberg fan. I do not like Goldberg, right? I think that his mic work is strong, but he's never been a favourite of mine. I don't like him. I don't like him. I want Kevin Owens to retain. I think Kevin Owens is a much more exciting prospect for the future, certainly. And I personally think that, you know, again, Kevin Owens could retain by some kind of DQ. Jericho surely will get involved somehow. So could be that the match is going on and then Jericho comes down, just starts beating up on Kevin Owens. Owens wins the match by DQ but doesn't end the night looking like a winner. Goldberg doesn't end the night looking like a loser, even though, you know, he didn't get the title. You know, he didn't really lose the match. It's just a case that, well, what am I meant to do, you know? Jericho and Owens have got their own thing going on, and this is what it is, you know? I really do not want Brock versus Goldberg to be for the title. I just don't. Because that, to me, makes it feel like the title is an afterthought. Because Goldberg versus Brock is already booked. That match is already happening. So they're not fighting over the title. They're fighting over who's the better man. And that's good enough. That's good enough. You know, considering what happened at Survivor Series, why the title doesn't need to be there? It's going to water the title down. They don't give two monkeys about a title, whereas Kevin Owens clearly does. Clearly that title means a lot to Kevin Owens. He's a prize fighter, and you know, he only fights for prizes. So that's why, for me, Owens versus Jericho could be champion versus champion. You could have Universal Champion versus United States Champion. You know, you could have Kevin Owens leave WrestleMania with both titles, just like Seth Rollins did from SummerSlam a few years ago. So hopefully this time there won't be any like Jon Stewart involvement. But I think it would be a bad move to put that title onto Goldberg. And not only that, make Kevin Owens look weak. You should not be making Kevin Owens look weak. So who knows though? Who knows what Vince is thinking? My prediction is that Goldberg's going to win. But every single fibre in my body will be cheering on Kevin Owens. Awesome, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. If you like the video, then please give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy the show. And I am going to try and do some reactions to everything that goes on. There'll certainly be a review. So if you haven't subscribed, then yeah, please make sure you do so you don't miss any of those. As we build towards WrestleMania, that is going to be awesome. Right, that's it. Thanks, guys. See you next time.